科技公司天气预测公司小公司优惠市场有市场收支性。今天下午周二双方官方会谈，围绕4个方面的深入交谈。大家一致认为，今年是中澳经贸协定签署10周年，也是中澳前面战略合作关系第20个10年的开始。两国应相见，以站在战略高度坚定的两国领导人达成重要共识，共同推动中澳经贸合作起到更多促进作用，为维护世界稳定贡献不少。当中大家有几个愿景，一是进一步发掘中澳经贸协定的深化拓展经贸合作。这一方面，中山舰希望各方伙伴携手应对全球经济发展新挑战，坚定看待各种领域深化中澳经贸协定的潜力，解决贸易关系，为实现贸易二是进一步捕捉抓好新兴领域。中方应当需要以澳方发挥优势，支持新疆抗疫传递同时关注教育、智慧产业、医疗、环保、移动设施、新兴领域提升经贸为两国社会三是进一步协同改善双边的市场，中方中央对司法做好完善各国的对话和政策工作，搭建政企沟通网，为中国企业造福经营，营造中企跟政府对比、中企市场形成好。中方中山舰也将加强与澳大利亚等国企业基金当地对接合作。四是进一步挖掘绿色低碳转型发展创新。中方就希望各方伙伴围绕清洁能源、应对企业发展绿色金融应用深化技术技术交流合作，探索打造高效、更加是互联网安全交流，为全国绿色关注以上是本次会议会议
感谢长官先生的报告。接下来，我们热烈欢迎巴基斯总理致辞。
Well, thank you very much, Mr. West. Chairman Wei, Francis, to the authority. Building the strength
new markets and investing in relationships. Engagement, you are ambassadors for Australia in China and for China in Australia. And all of you are ambassadors for this partnership as a whole, for what our businesses and industries can achieve working together. The 10-year anniversary of the China-Australia Free Trade Agreement is an opportunity to reflect on the progress that we've made. And in the leaders' dialogue that we just had, we spoke about commemorating the 10 years on the 20th of December this year. And perhaps the business leaders can think about the best way in which we can do that in both venues in just a few months' time. Since 2015, Australian goods and services exports to China have more than doubled, and Chinese exports to Australia have increased by 80%. Australia is a great trading nation, and China is Australia's largest trading partner by far. This is where the removal of impediments on Australian cotton, copper, coal, timber, hay, barley, wine, red meat and rock lobster has been such a boost for our farmers, growers and exporters. But of course it has also benefited China. The industries that use Australian resources to build and power their growth. Yesterday at the Steel Decarbonisation Forum that was held, we had 4 very significant Australian companies speaking about the export of iron ore, meeting together with the world's largest steel producers here in China, and speaking about how we in a practical way make a difference in lowering global emissions through the development of green metals. That is so important as we go forward. The food manufacturers that also count on high quality Australian produce, and of course Australian Chinese citizens who could sit down and celebrate the Year of the Snake with the best beef and wine that the world has to offer. The resumption and continued growth of trade in these areas is a reflection of the patient, deliberate and calibrated approach that my government has taken to stabilise the relationship between Australia and China. That work continues, including today, with the first CEO roundtable held in China since 2016. A practical demonstration of the benefits of stabilisation, generating greater engagement where it is in the interests of both of our nations. It is an ongoing process with dialogue at its core, but the fact that you have education, finance, resources, different businesses all represented here around this table shows the extent to which it can grow going forward. This dialogue is so important, government to government, business to business. Dialogue builds understanding. It enables us to express our differences and to manage them without our relationship being defined by them. Cooperating where we can, disagreeing where we must, but engaging in our national interest. And that has been our government's approach. Those opportunities for cooperation were a key part of the very warm and productive discussions I've had today with President Xi, with Premier Li and with Chairman Zhao earlier today. This is about building stronger ties where our national interests are aligned, from trade and tourism, education and culture to action on climate change. For many sectors, China is Australia's largest market, our largest source of overseas students, a growing driver of our tourism industry, our largest export destination for iron ore, and a critical source of foreign investment across the board. It is important in forums such as this that we learn from shared success but also plan for common challenges. The structural imbalances of global steel supply that we need to work together to address, what we need to do to maximise the economic opportunities of the global shift to net zero, and how we can ensure the businesses represented in this room, from agriculture, resources, education, services and beyond, have the confidence and certainty to invest in the new skills and technology that will underpin your future growth and productivity. Getting this right here and in Australia will depend on policies that are shaped by your experience and your insights. But my government believes unequivocally in free and fair trade as a driver of global growth. And I know in the discussions that we've had today have been very constructive to that end. One of the great privileges of representing our nation on international visits is meeting with Australians who are achieving extraordinary things overseas. People with the drive to commercialise a new idea, create a new market or build a new market. Australians who have backed themselves to compete and succeed in the world. People whose talent and capacity have benefited both of our nations. And that thread runs from this room all the way to Chengdu, where tomorrow we'll be reflecting on the proud history and exciting future of Australia and China's collaboration in medtech. The Cochlear company is a proud Australian company that is making a difference around the world and is an example of great cooperation in technology and new industries that we can promote here to the benefit of both of our nations. I do want to thank the business community in Australia and acknowledge their support for an optimistic approach to global engagement and the determination to provide support for the government's agenda in promoting that optimistic vision. And thank you for what you do to strengthen the bonds between our two great nations. So to the businesses from China, I thank you very much for your engagement, and I think that this gathering will send a very important message back to Australia about the significance that we place as a government in this engagement and collaboration in the interests of both of our nations, but also, I think it's fair to say, in today's turbulent world, in the interest of global economic activity as well.
非常感谢阿尔巴尼斯总理。现在，让我们以热烈的掌声，有请李强总理致辞。
尊敬的阿尔巴尼斯总理，各位企业家朋友、女士们、先生们，大家下午好！很高兴能够在北京与大家相聚。首先感谢阿尔巴尼斯总理刚才与我们分享了很重要的意见。我也特别高兴听到布莱克主席、赵欢主席，你们两位主席介绍你们今天圆桌会议的讨论成果，特别是大家对中澳经贸合作提出了很多富有建设性的意见。我们感到两国企业都对下步进一步开展合作充满期待。今年呢，恰逢中澳自贸协定生效10周年，过去10年时间里中澳的经贸合作，尽管我们也经历了一些波折、一些反复，但是依旧展现出较强的韧性和活力。两国货物贸易接近翻了一番，双向投资增长，我统计了一下，增幅在30%以上。这不仅是我们两国企业，不仅为我们两国企业创造了丰厚的收益，也为两国人民带来了实实在在的福祉。大家知道，当前国际经贸格局正在发生深刻复杂的变化，不稳定。